This is the first radio I've ever built. I made it last year. It's a bit of a novelty. It's a beach radio. There's a lady lying in the dunes enjoying the beach, and you can see you use the dials there for on and volume and tuning. There's a little spinny wheel that goes round in the wind. It's not pinned on properly at the minute. It's going to come off because we're going to take this radio apart. We've got the Union Jack, and this acts pretty much like a weather vane, and wherever the wind's blowing, this turns the wheel into the wind, and it keeps blowing all the time. On the back of here there was a grounding pin to improve the signal, and this is a little wheel for retracting the cable. It's like an earth pin off a plug. It's just to give the radio a better grounding and help it with its signal, because it's not a really good radio for its sensitivity. And so you could just use the wheel to retract the cable if you weren't using it. In the upgrade for this radio, I'm going to have to do away with these and maybe try and assign them to some other function. Maybe headphones, maybe some kind of selector switch, I don't know. 9-volt power supply, rechargeable batteries, something like that. And the radio itself was made with a dedicated AM radio chip that looked pretty much like a 3-pin transistor, a little black package, tiny thing, but it isn't good at all. And for some reason, when you turn up the volume on this thing, the sound just mushes and you lose the signal. Something gone wrong with it badly. So it needs an upgrade if it's actually going to be a usable radio. And of course, in my other videos you've seen, I've been using these fantastic little modules that I got from eBay. Now, it's AM radio, it's FM, shortwave. It's got its own power amp on board. You just need to give it the aerials, power supply, volume control, and the tuning's there on the top. It will, just like it does in here, end up sitting behind the cardboard. I'm going to open it up now. Let's take a look inside. I'll remind myself how I put it together. So just bear with me, I'll try and get these brass screws out. Just like more or less like little pins, really. Don't screw in very hard at all. There's a bamboo frame behind this. It's just glued on. So you really don't want to put in any excessive force on it. It'll just break off eventually. So let's get in there. That's 2 out. Let's go for 3. Come on, we do it faster than that. That's stuck in there. There we go. Yeah, it's a bit ill-fitting. The box was slightly distorted when I was gluing it together. I think I applied too much pressure at one point. And you can see it here, this corner's up here. It's not snug fitting. But I suppose it's what gives it its character. Right, that's the screws out. Let's take a look. Oh, before we crack it open, it does actually work, but it's an aerial. You finger on the earth pin at the back.
Right for me, but my mates told me not to overthink it, and they were right.
Yeah, so the tuning's right over on this side.
Yeah, I knew she was the one when I first saw her.
There's a whole muddle of stations there, and they're all blending together, but nothing's coming through really clearly, is it? Let's go back to absolute. Now we're going to turn this up loud and listen to the sound just mush. Right, that's enough. Not good at all, is it? So with one of those new modules installed in here, things will be radically improved. So how did I put it together again? Well, there we go. You can see that funny little cable retractor that I built. See, it's all knotted up from all the spinning that it's done. Really messing around with it. That's a ferrite rod aerial that I got out of an old radio. Can reuse that, that's okay. Might need some tweaking along the bar to get a good signal. We'll see. Battery box here, not staying. The aerial will stay in position, glued in. But we'll have to lose this cable winding mechanism. There's a better shot of the aerial there in place. So here's the radio circuit itself. It's all covered in wires and stuff. And it's that little black item there is the AM radio tuner, and that's a power amp to drive the speaker, which isn't a fantastically great speaker. It was taken out of a kid's electronics kit. We'll have to double check it. I bought some new speakers, we'll probably get a better one in there. There's your on, off and volume. That'll be staying in place. But I'll have to remove this here carefully and replace it with that, exactly in the same place. Okay? Because as you can see there, if it's focusing properly, how good's your soldering skills for? It's fun to focus for that. Come on. There you go. How good is your soldering skills to get into some of these pins here? Pass a bit of wire through and just dab it with a bit of solder real quick. Because this is kind of thing that you don't want to give it too much heat from your soldering iron. Spray huge blobs of solder everywhere that's going to cross over on other contacts. You really do have to take your time with this. But, you know, you can manage. I've done it before. So yeah, that will literally just drop into there. Refocus there for you. There you go. Yeah, as I said, it's just going to drop in there whichever way suits. I'll put some pin wires off here, the ones I need. We only need volume and a battery supply and an aerial, and that's about it really. Quite possibly, we'll take all this will be gone. This little amp thing will disappear and get rid of this big cable, I think, and move the circuitry up here if there's anything needed, like the this coil. These are only tiny little wires and they're very fragile, and ideally, sorry if you can see that, I'm not watching the screen as well as what I'm looking at. Yeah, these tiny little wires, very prone to breaking, and really the AM radio tuning coil there needs to be close to the tuner, although you can get poor signal. And that's probably the problem here, because it's not close enough to the tuner. The tuner's miles away. We're getting a lot of signal loss down these cables. Now, it's trial and error. I mean, this is the first radio I've ever built, so, you know, it was a good project. It was fun to do, a lot of work. but obviously issues with the radio circuit itself. And I've moved on a lot since then, learnt a lot. And I suppose it's a bit of a cheat really, isn't it, get a pre-made module, but still it's got to be fitted into there, which is going to take some planning. Now this, I'll just tell you about this front card. This is just an image I'd got off Google. I'd searched for something like saucy UK seaside postcards or something like that. Or is it big girl in the dunes kind of anything, phrases to get what I was looking for, and this was exactly what I wanted. So we downloaded it off Google, and my dad printed it out onto photo paper, and I turned it into trying to make it look something like, has it been hand painted or is it just a postcard that's aged over time? I started by using clear nail varnish over the photo paper and then laid on a sheet of cling film over the top of that, and it's slightly crinkled. Try to smooth it over and stuff, and applied more clear lacquer, the nail varnish, and kept doing layer after layer, and it's given it quite a sort of odd kind of worn postcard kind of look. It's been around for a while. It doesn't look so brand new as the glossy photo did when it first came off the printer. So yeah, so I have to take great care to preserve this when I'm working on the back doing the upgrade. I'll have to put some kind of foam protector on that, and I've got to take this button off carefully because it's got to be reattached to the new module. So yeah, so I'll set away doing that over the next few days or week or so, and I'll come back to you again with a either update video on the progress or a finished version. With the new chip in, we're going to have control, something like to switch between the channels, AM radio, FM radio. I'm not going to put anything else more on the front there. That's it. It's going to stay like that. Keep it simple, and the band selector can go on the side or the back even. You know, could use this again. You know, FM, AM switch. You probably have it on FM most of the time anyway. I don't know. You know, power socket. Any suggestions for what we could do with that? Because it'll end up just being a blank hole, which I can't really fill in. I don't know what to put in there, or I'll think of something. So yes, there we go. Beach Radio's getting an upgrade. Okay, thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Bye.